Hello, hello. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Welcome to another episode. I think this is the third one. We're on a roll. We're on a roll. This is episode 3 of Devon's movie Dungeon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time watching the stream, what we do here is basically I yap for like an hour to an hour and a half about movies and the like. I hope everyone's having a good one out there. But I'm stalling because I forgot what I was going to say, and it like just left my brain. We're back. We're back. Yes, on Devon's movie Dungeon. We, like I said, I yap about movies. We have kind of an agenda that we loosely go through, usually starting off with what I've been watching, and then we get into some movie news. Maybe we watch some trailers, and then we have our main subject, our main headliner, which tonight will be the 98th Academy Awards. The nominations came out a week or two ago. So we'll be looking at that. Obviously, we had the Golden Globes previously. We did predictions in our first episode, and then we reacted to what the winners were. I watched the Golden Globes. But yeah, now we got the 98th Academy Awards, aka the Oscars, happening I think March 11th or March 12th. So yeah, the nominations came out, which I was surprised how I guess early they come out. I guess maybe they helps them build hype for it. But yeah, we have about a month or so. But February will go by quick. It's only 4 weeks in February compared to January where we had 5. So it'll be here before we know it. But yeah, I have on deck tonight. Like I said, I'll talk about some of the movies I've been watching. I have I guess I have a mini rant up on deck here. And then don't have any movie news really to talk about too much. But I do have the Exit 8 trailer to watch, which is a video game movie that came out, I think, technically already in Asia. I don't know if it was in Japan or China, but I know it was in Asia. And I think it got an American release date here of April. But we can watch the trailer together, and then yeah, I'll go through the 98th Academy Awards. But yeah, let's get started here. I know that was a longer intro. I was just doing some stuff behind the scenes here, trying to get ready. Let's see. First off, let's make sure I actually get this on screen. There we go. My Letterboxd. Technically not fully filled out. Send help is not listed on here. And I probably won't talk about it much. Actually, let's just say I won't talk about it at all because I'm going to try to do one of my regular movie review videos on it. Like I said, if you're new to this channel, you probably are like, what is this guy? What? The stream series is kind of a newer thing. But last year, I did about 6 or 7 of them, where I just did movie reviews, where a little bit more polished than a stream. So it's like I write a script out and I pre-record it, and I cut it down, and I put some photos and clips in there as I'm talking about things. So that kind of style movie review there. I'm probably gonna do one for Send Help. I saw it on Wednesday. Or Tuesday, rather. Tuesday night. Or no. Monday night. No. Wednesday. What day is it? Thursday. Gosh, I don't even know when I saw it. I saw it previously this week. But yeah, I'm probably going to do a video on that, so I won't yap too much. Like I said, I just won't mention it tonight. But yeah, what I've been watching. Last time we did this stream, I mentioned I was going to watch Lost Highway that night. I did. I have the Criterion Collection version here. Pretty nice. I got it on Black Friday. Criterion Collection did a Black Friday sale. And then actually, when I watched Lost Highway, it was on David Lynch's birthday. They had a David Lynch sale, Criterion Collection did. So if there's like ever a director or like a specific movie, that you want physically, I'd highly recommend Criterion Collection. I like to get my steelbooks as well. I still need to watch some of the special features on here, but there's a pretty long list of special features on here. I also have a couple other ones that I got on that sale that I'm hoping to watch at some point. But yeah, watch this movie. And I mentioned this in, and I guess I won't talk about Iron Lung and Return to Silent Hill either, because Ethan and I just recorded episodes on that. 2 video game movies. We review video game movies on this channel. But you're like, what's the connection here? Silent Hill 2, this like loosely was what Return to Silent Hill is based off of. And I was reading the Wikipedia about this movie and how like what stuff it's influenced. And Silent Hill 2 was a pretty big, or Silent Hill, people who made Silent Hill 2 said that this movie was a pretty big influence on it. I didn't watch it because of that. It's just coincidentally I had this, and it was next on my list to watch with David Lynch. And I can see the similarities, but yeah, this movie is very. I think it came out, like 97. It is very 90s, but also early Lynch, for sure, in the sense of it has that glow to it. Like all the morning scenes, or the daytime scenes rather, just have like that dreamy look that you also see in like Twin Peaks. That was really, really cool. The story, like in a lot of Lynch's films, or pretty much almost all his films except for the ones I've seen, like Wild at Heart. Very, maybe sometimes difficult to follow along, but the pieces start to come together. Things aren't in order all the time. I'll just say I don't want to spoil it too much, but this is a story about a dude, kind of a he's married and has a wife, definitely a depressive, paranoid dude, and I'm trying not to spoil it, but it has a lot of amnesia going on, and you, the audience, follow along with that, and you jump between characters, and different actors, but they're maybe playing the same character, but maybe when they're younger, maybe they're not, maybe it's a different reality altogether. And the movie's a slow burn, like a lot of his movies are, but I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 5 stars. It looks really good. Like I said, this Criterion Collection looks really good. What's up, Ethan? This looks really good, and yeah, very, very, very dreamlike. Like, I don't know where I rank this on the Lynchian films I've seen, the Lynch films I've seen. I think once I get through them all, I'm gonna have to. Maybe that's a stream we do on here for Devon's Movie Dungeon, for just obviously I'm doing all like the big awards seasons right now, but that might be a good idea once I get through them all. To maybe rank them, but this is definitely up there. I mean, this one's. It is very much like when people talk about David Lynch, like this. Yep, it has everything in it, So, yeah, very, very good stuff. Anything else I want to say about it? But like I said, there's so much, like, it's hard to get into it without spoiling too much. Rammstein's in this, not once, not twice, but 3 times. From their first album, Herzeleid. There's a couple songs from there, so that was pretty cool. Big Rammstein fan. And also Marilyn Manson's in it, but fuck Marilyn Manson. But he is in it as a cameo, and he, I think, did some songs. Trent Reznor did some songs as well. So it's very 90s in that way, like in terms of soundtrack, and I think that's really cool. But then, like I said, it has that dreamy cinematography and color grading that you see in like Twin Peaks. But yeah, saw David Lynch's Lost Highway. Hell yeah. And then I don't know if I mentioned it on here or not, but I've had this on DVD. I think my dad bought this, and when I moved for the first time, I took a lot of DVDs with me. And one of them was this, V for Vendetta, starring Natalie Portman, Hugo Weaving there, from both of them from or Natalie Portman, obviously, and then Hugo Weaving. If you're not familiar with his name, you probably know him as Mr. Smith in The Matrix, and the one elf dude in Lord of the Rings. I forget his name. But I'll say this. I'll start. I guess I won't talk about my thoughts with the movie just yet. But I'll say what my thoughts were when I was younger. I thought this movie was kind of cool as a kid. Like, I liked some of the action sequences, but I didn't like, I didn't understand the dialogue or what they were talking about or what characters' motives were. I just knew the dude in the mask, V, there was trying to do something to the government, and then that's pretty much all I really remember as a kid. But it's been like probably 15, maybe 17 years. I don't know how long ago I saw this last. But I had generally positive feelings on it. But I recently got the book, V for Vendetta, or the comic books, in a bundle here. Alan Moore, David Lloyd. This is my second Alan Moore read. I know he's very influential in the comic books industry. His other big one is Watchmen, which I have read. I've read Watchmen, but I know he did like The Killing Joke, that kind of Joker story there, and among other stories. But I'm kind of a loose comic book guy. I have a bad habit of buying comic books, and then I don't like having them sitting out, so I put them away, and then I forget that I put them away, and then I don't read them all the time. But once in a while, I'll try to get some comic books at my local comic book store. But I got this at a secondhand place. It was like $10, something like that. $10. And I really, really enjoyed this. And the reason I even got this was when I was there, I was just thinking about, man, I want something kind of easy to read. I've been reading a lot more, but I feel like I need to get my muscle back a little bit. More so, like my brain has a habit of just wanting to just think about other things when I'm reading. So I'm like, I need to kind of work myself back up again. And I was still feeling something more political, but also, like I said, something a little bit more easier to consume, to digest. Because I've been reading more like political theory books, and I'm like, I need something just a little bit something easier to process, but something still political. So yeah, I grabbed this because I was like, oh, I've heard people who are more anarchist leaning, like myself, say like, oh, Alan Moore's V for Vendetta is like pretty good, even though it's not deep political theory, but like in terms of something, in terms of superheroes and whatnot, is pretty solid. So I was like, screw it, let's check it out. And yeah, I fucking love this book. These comic books, plural. It's very direct to what its politics are, to the point where if you miss it, I don't know, it's pretty direct. There's a couple panels that I really love in there where it talks like about what anarchy is, and not in the sense of what a lot of mass culture says anarchism is, but like actually way more directly like, nope, this is what anarchism is, at some points almost historically. It's still not like super in depth, but the morals are all the same, if that makes sense. Like what V's character stands for and what his motives are very direct in it. There's a lot more characters than I realized in it, compared from what I remember in the movie. But yeah, I really loved this book. So I was like, all right, let's watch the movie. I have it on DVD. Why not? I'm looking through my physical stuff. I'm like, what stuff can I watch? Let's put on the movie. Let's put on the movie. It'll be fun. We'll see how different it is. It can't be that much different. You know, I saw that. I think Lana Wachowski did the screenplay on it, or one of the Wachowski sisters there. Um, and I'm like, you know, it can't be too much. And I didn't read anything ahead of time. I just kind of went in, uh, like I said, just from what my old memory was. And this is my rant, like I mentioned earlier. This movie sucks, unfortunately. Um, I gave it a, what did I give it here? 2.5 stars. I gave it less than Return of Silent Iron Lung. Light spoilers, but like I said, I won't talk about those movies. But this movie, after reading the book, just really made me upset. Of just like they completely just said, "What if we just took like?" It felt like someone did the Spark Notes version, but then also took out the politics, which is kind of misses the whole point of the book. Um, I was very upset like halfway through the movie, and I just kept letting it go, and to the point where I'm like, I'm not a video essay guy, and I haven't looked to see if anyone else has done a video essay, but I'm like, if I ever did a video essay, I think this is my video essay project right here, if I ever did one. Like why this movie sucks and why the movie completely just missed the mark, or did it do it on purpose? And so after the movie, I'll just say basically, V never mentions the word anarchist or anarchy at all in the movie, despite the book he very explicitly says that multiple times. They took out a very, I think, important panel about where he talks to a statue, the Statue of Justice, that is at the Justice Building, the one that in the statue he does blow up, and in the movie he blows it up in the first 5 minutes, and there's none of that. There's not a speech there. Evie's character, I will say, in the movie, I felt like she got more agency, which I in the sense of like, she felt a little bit more like she was free to do what she wants, I guess, in V's shadow gallery, as he called it. But to be fair, in the comics, it's there's less. I mean, there's more dialogue, but there's less like action, I guess, shown. Like in the movie, they do make V way more of a martial artist than he is in the comics. There really isn't too much of that from what I remember. So that's like one of my few positives, is that like, okay, Evie's character feels a little bit more less of a scared person. She seems a little bit more confident in herself and whatnot. But her character's like origins are completely changed. They completely threw away. In this book, they establish like there's Nazis in power in a pre or post-war London, like nuclear war. London, and London's one of the last like standing like major cities in the world. And how the government operates is there's the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears. Obviously making a face, but all of them are all authoritarian and obviously work under the one leader, the one chancellor, and they all have, very directly, they're called the ears because they go around town and they're eavesdropping on people to make sure people aren't talking about, anti-government discussions. The eyes similarly have cameras and everything, and that's what the main leader, he watches that all day. He has almost a sexual relationship with the computer that he uses. That's like a whole B plot in this book that isn't mentioned at all in the movie, or is just completely removed from the movie. This goes back to my main point that the fingers are I forgot to say there's also the fingers, and they're like the kind of brown shirts, the SS, or even just like a KGB kind of group where they go around and try to snuff out any resistance. Like that's just completely like he mentions it in the movie in the beginning, and then they're just kind of like, they're whatever. They're not as like this, menacing force really. I don't want to go on too long because I know we're already 25 minutes in, but it's there's just a lot of pieces that just aren't in it. Like I guess this is no different than I'm sure than people who maybe read a book, and a movie's made on it, right? And they have to take some liberties, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like that. But this one is just like, I feel like they didn't even just take liberties. I think they just liked the look of him, and they're like, well, we don't want to make it too political because this movie came out in 2005. So it's in the middle of still post 9/11, right? America's involvement, and it's made by Hollywood. The movie takes place in London. It just feels very much like, hey, we can't have politics here in our political movie. And I did read about like the history about this movie, and it is pretty interesting. This movie was the first, and to this day, Alan Moore refuses. Alan Moore, who wrote V for Vendetta and Watchmen, he refuses to have his name on any adaptations of his work because he doesn't believe in that. He thinks that, like, nope, this is either read it and enjoy it or don't. Like, I have no interest in making money off of it. Originally he did, like, when they sold the rights for it, he just was like, sure, whatever at the time. But then when, I guess, during this, like, when he read the first screenplay of the movie, he was like, please take my name off of this. This is going to suck. And he's like, there's just a lot of issues I have with it, basically. But yeah, like I said, I think this would be like a cool video essay if I had the time and patience and skill set to do that. Maybe one day, you never know. But yeah, man, if you're generally interested in this, or like I would say just read the comics, man. Like it's so much better. I know this is a movie stream, but I will say this is one of the times where you can skip the movie and just read the book. And it's an easy read. Like I said, I think it's 10 comics in this, and you can spend like 45 minutes per comic. So you can shoot through this in a day theoretically. I just read it in a couple weeks before bed. But yeah, really love this. Really cool shit. Alan Moore is welcome to the commune for sure. And he's said himself that he is anarchist himself. I dig it. But unfortunately, yes, the movie is mid, and it sucks that he says he doesn't watch any adaptations either, so he's never seen like the Watchmen movie or anything like that, which is fair. But there was that Watchmen TV show HBO did back in like 2019 that I thought was really good and actually was way more in the spirit of what the Watchmen comics were, because yeah, Zack Snyder's Watchmen is get some parts right and then a lot of parts wrong. But yeah, that was V for Vendetta. I was recovering from my wisdom teeth then, and it was just I was looking forward to it. I really was. I was like, man, I get to, while I'm recovering, I get to put this on. It'll be fun. Sad, man. That's all I can say. Sad. All right, on to our next thing here. We're going at a good pace. Let's watch this Exit 8 trailer. Based on the global hit eponymous video game created by Kotaku Create. You should have watched The Tooth Fairy while you recovered. Oh yeah, with the Rock there. Isn't that the Rock movie? A man trapped in endless sterile subway passageway sets out to find Exit 8. The rules of his quest are simple. Do not overlook anything out of the ordinary. If you discover an anomaly, turn back immediately. If you don't, carry on, then leave from Exit 8. But even a single oversight will set him back to the beginning. Will he ever reach his goal and escape this infinite corridor? So I've seen clips from this game on TikTok or whatever. Weirdly enough, more speedruns of the game where people are just like memorizing like specific frames or moments and they're just flying through the game. But I've seen a couple of just clips of people playing it. It does seem like one of those, Steam games, right, that you play once and, you know, some streamers will play it or whatever, and it has its spooky moments or weird things like that. But I think this already came out, if I'm not mistaken, in Asia or in non-Western markets already, and then it you know, Neon or whatever got the rights to bring it. Just know this film was released last year. It's just getting released in theaters outside Japan. Okay, so it's just Japan, according to that person. But yeah, let's watch it. You know, we do video game movie reviews on this channel, and you know, why not watch it? I'll try to avoid copyright. So I'm gonna keep it low in case there's music, but.
ぎゅうぎゅう詰めの電車乗って会社行って同じこと繰り返してそっちの方が地獄みたいでそっちの方が地獄みたい
You know, this is probably an easy film to also shoot, I'm assuming, too, if you're just able to lock down, like, a couple passageways and, you know, a couple trains. Kojima saw this movie already. I mean, he sees everything. He actually saw, because now it's, like, reverse, where Hamnet just came to Japan, and I saw that he really loved that movie. I think he called the director, like, a wizard or something like that. Or a witch, I think, in a positive way. Like, oh, they're a witch of film. Unforgettable. Now my question is, I'm assuming he'll figure this out as it goes along, but like, you know, he's not like given a list of rules at the start. You know, it's not like you know, Jigsaw or something. I'm assuming in the game you like get jump scared and killed or something. So I'm wondering also with that, like, I wonder like how they'll start it. Like, will he have to lose at some point, or maybe we see a different person lose, at least for the audience's sake. I want to say, when I went to Japan, them having storage lockers at like different stations was like one of those things where it's like, why the fuck are we doing that? Like, we have our Amazon lockers, but like, just like in general, like, imagine if you just could, like, I don't know, go to the airport or whatever, I don't know, just like drop your stuff off, and they had them everywhere, and it was like $1. You put your coins in, you know, come pick it up before 2 a.m. and you'll be fine, you know. Alright, so there's definitely monsters. That's true, we don't like homeless people, so that's probably why. Are those... what was that? Do I want to know? Is it spoilers if I pause it? I mean, I guess... can't be that much spoilers. Let's see, let me see, we'll just go... I want it to look like rats, like hairless rats. What the hell? That's okay. It is like hairless rats, but I see there's like an eyeball on that one. Sure. Sure. Oh, Toho is one of the producers. Not shocking. Toho is everywhere now. All right. I mean, it's not something I'm like super hyped about or anything. But we'll be watching it in theaters in April. Been a lot of video game movies sneakily just popping in into theaters, like Iron Lung did. All right, what are we at time? 35 minutes? Perfect. Perfect, because it's time, folks. It is time for the 98th Academy Awards, aka the Oscars 2026 nomination reveal. I think this was like last week. There's a whole list here. I'll say this website looks a little bit better than the Golden Globes, and it lets me like go to the different decades, which is pretty nice. So I can go to like 2010 and 2015 here and see who won Best Picture. Birdman, for example. So this, I'll say it, they have their history down, and I can easily access it. So that's pretty nice. Everything is awesome from the Lego Movie. Nice. Lady Gaga sings from The Sound of Music. Oh, Whiplash. I still haven't seen Whiplash. I saw Birdman, though, a couple times. Imitation Game. I've seen that. But see, like 2015, well, honestly, like 2013 through 2018, most of that was like when I was in college and I didn't have a car to go to the movie theater. I also didn't have money, so a lot of I didn't see a lot of movies. So I do have some gaps there. But like 2019 onward, I've been pretty solid about keeping up on what's hot. But it's pretty cool, I can go back. Let's see, 1950. Just for fun here. Mighty Joe Young got Special Effects Award. Mighty Joe, that's the one with the gorilla. 12 O'Clock High. So I'm assuming, then they had cinematography black and white back then and cinematography color. That's cool as hell. They should have kept that. They should have kept that. Costume design black and white. Costume design color. That's really cool. But yeah, their website's a lot better. So Golden Globes, you need to get in on that. You need to fix your website and make it really nice like this. But yeah, let's go to 2020s. Let's go to 2026. They did a video for us, so I don't have to read as much. So, and I don't have to keep scrolling. They made a video for us, so let's maybe watch that.
Thank you for joining us as we announce our nominees for the 98th Oscars. It is very early in the morning here in Los Angeles, but we know that there are people watching this in every time zone all over the world. This year...
Yeah, I remember for when Godzilla -1 came out, like they were watching it on their little TV in whatever time they were at, and I just remember like they were just like looked like in the break room, like it looked like anyone's break room if you ever worked in like an office setting, and it's just kind of funny that they started celebrating and they had a bunch of Godzilla figurines.
Here, the Oscars celebrates our humanity, our connection with each other, and reminds us once again that the world is made up of individual stories that have the power to unite us through narratives that speak to the emotions we all share. We live in a time of limitless technology that enables us to push the boundaries of our cinematic experience.
But not AI, right?
And our profound belief is that the heartbeat of film is and will always remain unmistakably human. Okay,
I feel like that's not direct, but not like word for word, but basically saying the humans got to make it. Okay, get your AI slop, have your own goddamn stupid award show. Okay. Also, I want to know where this is at. because it sounds like there's a studio audience of some sort. Not a huge one, but like, can I go to this? You know, like, I don't know where this is at.
The Academy can do. We are recognizing the best films of 2025 across genres, disciplines, and regions around the globe. And this includes, for the first time, an award for achievement in casting.
All right, new award. I'll say I'm not as familiar with the Oscars. Like I said, I've watched more Golden Globes historically. And this past Golden Globes was the first one where I really sat down and like watched it from start to finish. I'm gonna try to do that with the Oscars this year, because I've seen parts of the last couple.
Members of the Academy. And not only are we looking forward to honoring them at the Oscars on Sunday, March 15th, we are thrilled that
March
Conan
15th.
O'Brien is returning as our Oscars host. I would like to thank our ASL interpreters for making today's announcement accessible. And now, to announce the 98th Academy Award nominees, please welcome Oscar-nominated actress Danielle Brooks and actor Lewis Pullman.
Oh yeah. Where is this? And who, like, are these? I mean, they look like they're maybe average people. Is this the stage where they did like Whose Line Is It Anyways back in the day? Like, I want to know where this is.
And thank you to the Academy for inviting us to announce the nominees this morning.
Danielle, you were nominated for an Oscar for The Color Purple, in case you forgot. What was that like when you heard them call your name that morning?
A day I could never forget, honey. Oh my God, it was a dream come true. And how about we make some other people's dreams come true?
That sounds great to me.
All right, let's do it.
Danielle, as a former nominee in this next category, why don't you just kick it off? Take the first one.
Okay. For performance by an actress in a supporting role. Elle
Right.
Fanning in Sentimental Value.
I need to watch Sentimental Value, dude. It got so many awards at the Golden Globes.
Inga Eve's daughter, Lilos, in Sentimental Value.
I said it last time. I'm like, does that hurt your chances when you have two of your counterparts, or maybe even more, in the same category? You know, does it split the votes?
Amy Madigan in Weapons.
Okay.
Wunmi
Hell yeah.
Masaku in Sinners.
Okay. I'm glad horror movies are getting some love this year, at the very least.
And Tiana Taylor in One Battle.
And Tiana won Best Actress, or I forget the full title of it, but Best Actress at Golden Globes.
The nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling are Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Okuo,
Not familiar with that one.
Sinners,
Yeah. Okay.
Smashing Machine,
I mean, The Rock barely looks like The Rock from at least the trailers I've seen. I still need to watch that.
and The Ugly Stepsister.
Never heard of that one. Never heard of Kokuo and The Ugly Steps. Both of these unfamiliar to me.
Coming up right now, the nominees for achievement in music original score.
All right,
Begonia.
Sinners is going to be on there for sure.
Frankenstein.
I don't know how great Frankenstein's soundtrack was, because when I saw it with David, a friend of the channel, we saw it in a small theater where it was like a theater on top of another one, and that night they were doing a Nosferatu with a live band, and whenever the band got really loud, it would just bleed through it, unfortunately. So I still need to rewatch Frankenstein, but also I don't have Netflix, so even though I've considered it, because WWE Raw is on there.
Hamnet.
Hamnet's
One Battle
music was
After
good. One Battle After Another was
And
very good.
Sinners.
I think Sinners needs to take this one, man.
And now, here.
That's like that was just like, I feel like its biggest conversation around it was the music.
Here are the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film. Butcher's Stain. A Friend
I'm not
of
familiar
Dorothy.
with. I don't watch short films. Maybe one day I should get into those.
Jane Austen's period drama. The Singers. And Two People Exchanging Saliva.
For Best Animated Short Film, the nominees are
Animated short
Butterfly.
films.
Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters.
There are two award categories honoring writing. The first for adapted screenplay. The nominees are Begonia, screenplay by Will Tracy. Frankenstein.
So I don't know what the definition is for that, but just like for going off just what it says, adapted screenplay. So that's got to be a combination of like, hey, the screenplay, like if you just read it, pretty good and detailed, you know, will make you cry or whatever, right? If that's its goal. And then to have it be adapted, right? I think there needs to be an and part to that. Like you can have a great screenplay, it could be the best screenplay of all time, but like, you know, if your actors suck or whatever, it doesn't, you know, doesn't turn out how it should, it doesn't really matter how good the screenplay is. But weirdly enough, reversed, I feel like you could, if you had enough talent, you could sometimes get away with not a great screenplay. But so I feel like this is kind of like an award, you know, that's like this has to be good and this has to be good.
Written for the screen by Guillermo del Toro. Hamnet, screenplay by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell.
Chloe Zhao, that's right. That's who was the director of Hamnet as well.
One Battle After Another.
Well, I said earlier that Kojima said was like a witch of movies or something.
Written by
I
Paul
forget what it was.
Anderson. And Train Dreams, screenplay by Clint Bentley.
I watched the trailer for Train Dreams after the Golden Globes. It does look pretty cool. It looks like a movie that might make me cry, though.
Greg Quidar.
And for original screenplay, the nominees are Blue Moon, written by Robert Kaplow.
So what is original? I mean, like...
It Was Just an Accident, written by Jafar Panahi.
Not familiar.
Script collaborators Nader Saivar, Shad Meher Rothstein, Mehdi Mahmoodian.
Marty Supreme, written by Ronald Bronstein.
Marty Supreme, we know. I mean, if Marty Supreme doesn't get this, that's okay. I just need to see what Timothy getting. All right, because that's, you know, he's my LeBron of acting. We need to make sure he gets his. But we'll take any wins that he's even loosely revolved around, and you know, like he didn't write it, so, but he's in it, so we'll still take it. We still take credit. You know what I mean?
Sentimental Value, written by Eskil Fucht. Joachim Trier. And Sinners, written by Ryan Coogler.
So, since I did the first acting award, you take this one.
Thank you, Danielle. Here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a supporting role. Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another.
I always want to know how they determine who's in a supporting role too, because like I feel like I've seen some where like the character is in it for like maybe 10 minutes of screen time, but then I've seen ones where I feel like they're in it a lot, and I'm like, you're almost co-leading, you know. But Benicio del Toro's character, he's definitely, like, it makes sense for this category for sure.
Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo in Sinners. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another.
See, like, he's like, you know what I mean? He's like our main driver of the plot, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's the one that makes everything happen. He's the villain, right? You know, like, it's like, is he a supporting role, or is he the one that, like, I don't know.
And
I mean, I get like Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, you know, he's the lead character, or like our hero, I guess, in the traditional sense, but like supporting role, really? I mean,
Ellen
whatever.
Skarsgård in sentimental value.
Oh my God, that was so exciting. Okay. It's time for our halftime break. Congratulations to the first round of Oscar nominees.
We'll be back with more nominations.
Yeah, this must be some sort of event. But whatever it is, I want to go. I want to go. Oh, so this is a live stream. There must be something happening more than just this, though, right? All right. Well.
And we're back.
And now here are the nominees for the first new Oscar category in 25 years.
I know people will probably agree with this, but to me, it's always been like, right, Oscars, I feel like are a little bit bigger than Golden Globes. At least obviously in America, but like their statue's cooler. Like just a gold dude. Like I want that right there. I want that in my house.
Achievement in casting. Hamnet. Marty.
Casting is basically like the equivalent of general manager of the year when it comes to like sports. It's like, yeah, I made a freaking awesome team. Honestly, I could see Marty Supreme taking this because some of the people in that movie, like, that's their first time acting. Or they're like what's his name from Shark Tank is like, that's his first time in it. And I think I don't know his name, and I'm now blanking on the character's name, but in Marty Supreme there's the guy where who's trying to sell him on or trying to help him sell his ping pong balls, the orange ones. Him, and I think he was like, I'm sure he's done some acting, but from what I thought I read was that he, like, this is like his first real big role, like real deal role, and it's because he knew Timothée Chalamet. Because a lot of people are like in that movie are from New York City.
One battle after another. The Secret Agent. And Sinners.
I mean, this is a tough category. I mean, I don't know how you really like quantify it, because it's like I said, it's like who got the big names or who got the right people for the right roles. You know, because the big names, some of them are big for a reason, right? Where it's like they can do almost anything. You can plug and play anywhere, right? But to me, it's like if you can find the people who fit your role, like I said, Marty Supreme, you find people who could fit your role, even if they're not traditionally actors, I think is interesting. Like, that's bold to do.
Next, the nominees for achievement in costume design. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Frankenstein. Hamnet. Marty Supreme. And Sinners.
I mean, Sinners, from all of these, Sinners, I feel like I remember them, like, as much as Marty Supreme was my #1 movie of the year, I don't think it tried too hard to... I mean, it did try. I don't know how to phrase this. It's like, it looked like it, you know, from the time period, 1950s, but it also wasn't like... It wasn't strictly a period piece. Like, the music in that movie is all like 80s dance and synth music. Like, they weren't so they didn't have to be like as regimented. Everything looked like it fit in the time period, but I'm sure people, I mean, I'm not an expert in like clothing changes through history. Like, it felt right, but I'm sure there's people who are like, oh, they didn't wear that back then, or they wouldn't have worn it that way, or wore those type of shoes or whatever. Same goes with Sinners, but I do feel like Sinners, from what I saw, like, you know, everything felt like it was from that time period and fit with the theme of the movie. And they do jump a couple times in, I guess spoiling it. You know, there's one big scene in that movie where it's showing different eras of you know, I guess that is kind of spoiling it. I'll just say there's different eras, and you know what I'm talking about. And also, there's different eras later in the film as well. So they all fit. It all looked good. Hamnet is also a period piece, and it looked good. It looked like it, but anything for me pre-1700s or whatever, like kind of all blends together for me. I mean, it all looks, like I wouldn't know different. Frankenstein definitely looked like a lot of Guillermo del Toro's other, like he has an aesthetic and it looks cool and it works. Avatar Fire and Ash, they look cool, but it didn't look any different to me than the previous Avatar films, or rather like from the second one more, I should say, because a lot of it takes place once again in the water world, and then we got some new stuff with the fire people, and a lot of it just feels indigenous, but I don't know how much is taken from indigenous cultures, and I don't know much about that, but from what I've heard, I don't know. I've heard both arguments that it's steals, and others say it actually they did work with some people, but not enough. I don't know. So I don't know. But I kind of am okay with Sinners winning this one, or Frankenstein.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Music Original Song. Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless.
Not familiar.
From K-Pop Demon Hunt. I Lied to You from Sinners.
Sinners, like I said, any of the music awards, Sinners should be getting that.
Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams.
And now the nominees for Best Documentary Feature Film. The Alabama Solution.
Documentaries, I would love to watch more, but then, I don't know, I watch a lot of politics, and I keep up on a lot of politics, so I guess it kind of feels the same. And some documentaries, I feel like it just make... Usually the ones I'm interested in, I wind up just avoiding them, because I just feel like I'm not going to learn... I'm just going to learn too much more, and that'll make me more sad. Like, if it's like, I want to watch ones about... I think the last one I watched was last year. I think it was last year, maybe even the year before. I watched Union, which was about the Amazon labor union forming, the first ever one in New York City there, ran by Chris Smalls, and it was really good, but it also just showed like how much fucking like bullshit that they have to deal with, and like it just made me more frustrated in a way. It was hopeful to some degree, but also a lot of it was just like, man, dude, Amazon just sucks ass. And it's also really hard to like convince your workers, even when you're working a shitty job, like you think it'd be, even easier, but it really isn't. It just shows the struggle of that and like the work you got to put in. And as someone who does labor organizing, it was, like I said, it was motivating, but also like, it was like, hey, kind of like, hey, it ain't gonna be easy. Like, it just might be years. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, and it's not, you can't just wait for someone else to do it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, just. And in other documentaries I do watch, I watch a lot of anything that's like Walking with Dinosaurs, Prehistoric Planet on Apple TV. I know there's a couple other ones out there I haven't seen yet, but I like that stuff. But then it just makes me sad because all the dinosaurs are gone, and that's sad, man.
Come See Me in the Good Light. Cutting Through Rocks. Mr. Nobody Against Putin. And The Perfect Neighbor.
Like, yeah, Mr. Nobody Against Putin sounds interesting to me, but also it's like I said, I do politics, and it's like, I don't know, maybe I would, like, I just said I need to step away sometimes, but then I read shit like this and watch movies, so maybe I'm lying. I'm contradicting myself. Maybe I should watch documentaries.
Coming up right
there is
now,
just a lot out there.
Now the nominees for
I feel
Best
like.
Documentary Short Film. They are All the Empty Rooms. Armed only with a camera, the life
I didn't even think about the fact that
Brent
there could be
Renault.
like short form documentaries, like
Children no more were
20
and
minutes.
Are gone. The devil is busy. And perfectly a strangeness.
That's a cool title.
For Best International Feature Film, the nominees are The Secret Agent, Brazil.
That got a couple Golden Globe
It was
awards.
Just an Accident, France. Sentimental Value, Norway.
Once again, Sentimental Value.
Spain. And The Voice of Hind Rajab, Tunisia.
For Best Animated Feature Film, here are the nominees. Arco.
K-pop Demon Hunters gonna be on this, probably.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
There it is.
Little Amelie or the Character of Rain.
I think that was up for a
And
Golden Globe
Zootopia
too.
2.
Zootopia 2, I guess, is like crazy, dude. The only thing I know about Zootopia 2 is that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are Zebros in it. That's all I know about it. And I thought I saw the first one, but I was confusing it with Secret Life of Pets 2. I think I only seen the sequel.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Production Design.
All right.
Frankenstein.
Once again, it has that Guillermo del Toro look. He loves his like greens and reds, which I do too. I really dig it. But some parts just had that Netflix look, unfortunately, and that's like one of the reasons I kind of took it off my top 5. Still probably in my top 10, but just yeah, just like some parts where I was like, all right, we know they're all standing in a big green screen room here, and just it's like, and I just know he's done, and there's some great like set pieces and you know, sets in the movie, but I think it's just a Netflix thing. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter who you put in there. Like, it just, Netflix finds a way to be like, what if you just did green screens? What if I just did green screens here? It's like, I don't know. I think of Pan's Labyrinth, man. Like, that movie, like, still and will hold up for a long time because it's like on location or it's real sets, and it's really good. Hamnet could be an underdog. I mean, shit, dude. Hamnet was an underdog in Golden Globes, and then it won Best Picture there or whatever. And I was very surprised by that because I did like it a lot. And I know some people call it Oscar bait, but it isn't. Like I said, and I have also, to be fair, I've said drama films and like those type of films, I'm not as knowledgeable on, but I've been watching more and more of them. But like I said, it made me feel kind of validated that at least like, oh, I thought it was very good, and the fact that it won awards, okay. Forgot, I don't know where the guy was, but I did see a dude on Instagram talk a bit about like the issue with like people calling things Oscar bait and how reductive it is, and I don't remember all his cool talking points that I wish I could tell you right now, but I agreed with that guy. That like, it's like, you know, if you go in with the intention of like this is going to be melodramatic and you don't like melodramatic movies, then why you don't waste your time, you know. I think that was one of his main points, but and yes, awards like care a lot about that stuff because it's just what they prefer. Sure, is there some issues with the awards and some valid criticism, sure, but you know, but no, I will say Hamnet. One part I do really like in that movie is that like it was on location. There was no like everything felt lived in and felt real, right? And then I really loved the because it's based off Shakespeare. There's like his like where his play was, or his his plays were like the actual stage, and like just like that like being in a movie, like having a stage be in a movie, it's just like I don't know what that is, but I just think that's really cool. Like I love that aesthetic. They just did a really good job of like I said, everything felt lived in throughout that movie, and it felt really good. So maybe this could be a dark horse here.
Marty Supreme,
I feel like, yeah, had really great sets, but I a lot of it, I don't know if they count this, but like, you know, a lot of it was shot on location in New York City. Obviously, that, you know, shout out to the scouting people, right? Who, you know, a lot of people. Usually, you go scout locations. You don't just write a script and you just start going anywhere. Like, you usually scout locations, and I'm sure they make, you know, necessary changes if they need to fit cameras in, or like, hey, we need a crowd or whatever. So I'm not too sure about like how much was involved with that, but as you can see here, they have production design and set decoration. So
One battle after another, and Sinners.
Sinners had some solid sets as well. I feel like a lot of that was also shot on location. I'm assuming, except for maybe like the big barn that they're in the church, maybe.
Next, the nominees for achievement in film editing. F1. Marty
I never
Supreme.
saw that. Marty Supreme.
One
Like I said,
after another.
I don't know.
Sentimental value. And Sinners.
This is a tough award because I feel like this is like a combination of preference and what is the genre. Like F1, right? From what I've heard, it's like Top Gun but with cars. That you probably need a good editing, you know, fast editing style, making things feel quicker than they probably actually are when you're filming it. You know, Marty Supreme had a lot of moments where there's longer shots, but then there's a lot of quick jumping and whatnot and action kind of. So it's kind of a mixed genre there. One battle after another, similar. Sinners, similar. Some of them I'm not familiar with, but like none of these are like when you talk about film editing. I mean, there's a difference between cinematography and film editing, right? Like if it was, but I think you can kind of look in tandem at that. But yeah, I don't know where this one would go, because none of them were like, and I mean this in a good way, is that like none of them stood out because I feel like they're all like hitting the same level of film editing. Like, you know when there's bad film editing, right? I think film editing also can be like transitions. I think that's the other thing where like I notice more of like, oh, that was a good transition. You know, I'm like, hell yeah, that was a sick transition. But I feel like it's in at least modern Hollywood or a lot of these movies, like even movies that are just kind of all right, usually have decent editing, right? I think you can make editing more, like I said, you'll know it when you see it kind of thing. And all these have cool moments in it that I really liked that, you know, probably required some film editing. But I don't know, it's kind of a weird one. Maybe just for me.
And for achievement in sound, here are the nominees. F1.
I can see that.
Frankenstein.
I think this this isn't just music, right? I think music can play a part in it, but I think it could just be like sound effects and like whatnot. I remember, like I said, my Frankenstein experience had randomly a band playing downstairs moments, but I do remember the moments I do remember that weren't as loud from that. Sounded cool. There's a scene where he's in the one house there with the rats. That sounded cool.
One battle after another. Sinners and Sirat.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I mean, I said any music stuff should go to Sinners in my opinion, but
Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Will Avatar just win? I'm assuming it's won at least one before, but did it win one? Has it won? Granted, the first one and the second one were longer apart, so like if they both won it, that makes sense. But yeah, since it's pretty close, like would it be boring to be like, yeah, it was great again?
F1.
F1 getting a lot.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
I listen. I'm a Jurassic Park defender, Jurassic World defender. I like the dinosaur movies. I'm a sucker for the dinosaurs. And there is some cool special effects in it, or visual effects rather. But it wasn't like anything like crazy. Like there wasn't anything new that I feel like I haven't seen before, except maybe the the scene with the T-Rex in the river, like that was cool. But other, like, and there was some cool shots generally. But there wasn't anything I haven't seen before, if that makes sense.
The Lost Bus.
Never heard of that one.
And Sinners.
What if, I mean, maybe Formula One. Like I said, I've heard great things about it. Sinners effects I feel like are pretty solid. But once again, nothing like hasn't like a lot of, I mean, except for a couple scenes, going back to the thing like the eras that are shown throughout that movie. There's some cool parts in it. Once again, like Jurassic World Rebirth, some cool parts, some cool things done. But at the same time, nothing that I haven't seen before. Avatar, still, I feel like no one's done it like them, right? But it's kind of boring. I don't know anything about the Lost Bus, but maybe Formula One, because I'm assuming it's a combination of practical and visual, or practical and computer generated effects.
Here are the nominees for achievement in cinematography. Frankenstein.
Okay.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
One Battle After Another. Sinners. And Train Dreams.
I think I gotta give it to One Battle After Another in this one. I think I said the same for Golden Globes. I don't remember if I think it did win. You had One Battle After Another had the choice to do oh my god, what is it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. Brutalist did it as well. That type of film. This Division. Marty Supreme looked like a lot of the other A24 films. I don't mean that in a negative. A24, I think, really prides itself in having a look, or not afraid to be different. But at the same time, it feels, it's good every time. It's like pizza. You're like, hell yeah, it's good every time. Frankenstein, like I said, it looks like a lot of Guillermo del Toro's other work, but just has that Netflix look at moments, unfortunately. Sinners had some, like I said, some really solid parts. I have no qualms with anything in there, but nothing really like stood out as much for me as One Battle After Another. I mean, I just think of that last one, that last car race at the end there, that was so good. And then there's like a lot of just cool, like they have nighttime shots, daytime shots, but like that ending, dude, like I think that's like enough for me to like put it over a lot of these other ones. It was that good, simple but effective. But I mean, really, any of these, I don't know. This is where it gets tough. Haven't seen Train Dreams yet, but it looked cool from the trailer.
Performance by an actor in a leading role. The nominees are Timothy Chalamet and Marty
All right,
Supreme.
we know the agenda here, folks. We know the agenda. We don't need to see anything else. All right, Timothy, LeBron's getting his first big ring. Let's go.
Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. Michael B. Jordan in Sinners.
Michael B. Jordan was great, though. I mean, if it gets to Michael B. Jordan, respect. But like I said, I have an agenda here.
For performance by an actress in a leading role, the nominees are Jessie Buckley in Hamnet.
Yep.
Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Remember that one being mentioned.
Kate Hudson in Sung Blue. Renata Reinsve in Sentimental Value. And Emma Stone in Begonia.
I'm cheering for Hamnet here. Jessie Buckley was very
For
good.
achievement in directing, the nominees are Chloe Zhao, Hamnet. Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme.
This is a very good
Paul
lineup.
Thomas Anderson, One Battle.
This is a lot like the cinematography award, man. I mean, it's just going to be like, you can make an argument for almost all of them.
After Another. Joachim Trier,
So
Sentimental
I
Value.
gotta watch Sentimental Value, I guess, before
and
this.
Ryan Coogler.
Maybe that's what I should do. I would like Ryan Coogler to get his. That'd be good. But I mean, like I said, all these are good. All these are good from what I've seen and what I've heard about Sentimental Value.
And for our final category, let's read them together.
I think you got it.
Best Picture.
Okay.
Please.
The 10 films nominated for
10?
Best Picture.
Okay, I respect. I didn't even realize that they're like, no, you better vote with your heart. All right, you gotta. There's 10 options. You better know which one you're picking. Unless they do like ranked choice voting, that'd be funny. I don't think they do, but you know, this ain't the Game Awards. All right. See, the Game Awards should have 10. Make it interesting.
Sure are.
I mean, to be fair, I think the more you add, I guess votes get split more. So maybe actually the cream doesn't rise to the top. You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know how you want to think about it, but I like that there's 10. That's awesome. So it makes it feel more celebratory. You know what I mean? Instead of like, here's another 5. Like, no, we're gonna announce 10 fantastic movies. Like, it's a good number, right? For if you're gonna do the big award, have it be 10. I like that.
Begonia. Ed Gein
Still haven't
and
seen
Andrew
this.
Lowe, Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone, and Lars Knudsen.
I see. Weirdly enough, I saw people were like not liking it, so I'm surprised. I've seen it so
Producers.
often, but like those people could be wrong.
F1. Chad Omen, Brad Pitt.
F1, another one where I'm like, I missed it.
Kaczynski and Jerry Bruckheimer, producers.
Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro, J. Miles Dale, and
Does
Scott
look good.
Stewart, producers.
I liked that
Hamnet,
scene.
Liza Marshall, Pippa Harris.
Yeah, this set here, it's simple, but like it felt good. It felt like you were there.
Nicholas Gonda, Steven Spielberg, and Sam Mendes, producers.
Marty Supreme, Eli Bush, Ronald Braunstein, Josh Safdie, Anthony Tutagis.
I think, like I said, I know I've been saying Marty Supreme or Timothy Chalamet, Jesus, my goat, needs to get all the awards possible because we'll stretch it. We'll say, even if he wasn't directly involved with the music or whatever, let's say we say we count that. But unironically, I do believe that like actors, I mean everyone involved, right, has to get credit for when you win a Best Picture. But like especially lead actor, I mean, come on.
Tutagis and Timothy Chalamet.
So selfishly, I'm probably gonna have to say Marty Supreme, but these are all
One
great.
battle after another. Adam Somner, Sarah Murphy, and
Like,
Paul
there's no
Thomas,
wrong answer,
Anderson
really.
producers.
The Secret Agent. Emily.
See, dude, I need to watch all these.
Producer.
Sentimental Value. Maria Eckerhoff.
Yeah, I need to watch at least Sentimental Value and maybe Begonia before March 15th there. I have time. I gotta see if they're even available. That's half the issue. Some of the international films are not available anywhere.
Tinson Otmar, producers.
Sinners. Zinzi Kugler, Sev Ohanian, and Ryan Kugler, producers.
And Train Dreams. Marissa McMahon, Teddy Schwarzman, Janowitz, Ashley Schlafer, and Michael Heimler, producers.
Congratulations to
That
all
was
of
10?
this year's
Oh, I flew
nominees.
by for some reason. So Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle for Another, Secret Agent, Seminole Valley, Sinners, Train Dreams. I don't know. Like I said, I'm selfishly want Marty Supreme because I picked it as my number one, and I want to be like, yeah, I know ball. But I mean, it's always subjective, right? And it's. And I didn't see the Hamnet win at the Golden Globes, so who knows? Hamnet might be the favorite now. I don't know, but I would be really happy for Sinners. 'Cause I know a lot of people liked that movie, and just like I know what people like. People want Ryan Coogler to get his. Same with with Michael B. Jordan. Battle for was just very good. Frankenstein I really liked. I think if I have to pick my top ones I think will win, I think it's probably between. They had Seminole Valley once again is on a lot of these, but it's always Stranger. I mean, dude, I don't know actually. Which is biasy, but since Hamnet won Golden Globes, this has got to be higher, I guess. I think maybe this has got to be. If I'm doing like top 3. Shoot my shot here. I'm gonna say Hamnet, One battle after another. I don't know why, but similar value. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but it got a lot. I feel like it even got more this time around. But Sinners had the most. I think I read that Sinners had like the most ever or something like that, like nominations, or got like maybe not the most ever, but it got like 8 or 9. I don't know. I'm just gonna say can't be Hamnet back to back, right? But if everyone splits their, I mean, not saying Hamnet doesn't deserve it, but it's just like it's got to be like, wow. If I had to like really put my money, like put money on this, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. Because like I said, I've watched more of the Golden Globes historically and a little bit of the Oscars. I don't even know. I'd have to like really look at the history again and see like what they tend to do in comparison. But we're just gonna lock it in. I mean, everyone's been lucky in one battle after another. And I don't, and for some reason, I feel like it's not going to get other awards, but it'll win this one. Let's just lock in one battle after another. I'm cheering for Marty Supreme. I would be happy with Hamnet Sinners getting theirs as well. But I don't know. My gut's telling me one battle after another. It's just gonna do the damn thing. I think it's gonna be a situation where they're gonna spread it out the love a little bit, but it's like I could see. I'm hoping as long as Timothy gets his best actor, you know, we win the night. All right. But no, for real. I think one battle after another will. That's my prediction. I gotta lock it in. One battle after another. I know I didn't do predictions for every single one, but the big one here, one battle after another, lock it in. Just based off of how the Golden Globes went, and even though Hamnet won the big one there, one battle after another got a lot of awards. But yeah, we'll see. It's a Sunday, so what time does it actually start? I forget who won last year. Was it The Brutalist? I think it was The Brutalist, right? Where's Best Picture? Oh, that's right, Anora won, and that was kind of a shocker. Right. I'm just quickly going, I'm good, no newsletter. Because the Oppenheimer won, right, for... Yes, that's right. And I missed. I knew most of these, but I didn't see most of them. 2024. I need to. If anything, I need to go back. But all right, folks. I think that'll be it for the stream. We hit our 1 hour and a half mark, basically. That is my reactions to the 96th Academy Awards nominations. I try to do this every other week because don't feel like I'd have enough to talk about if I did it every week, but also just my own sanity. But yeah, so maybe the next one will be on the 19th or 18th. I don't want to say commit to Thursdays or anything like that, but I want to do it in the middle of the week. I like that. It feels right that way. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, give it a like, give it a subscribe if you want. And like I said, I'm going to try to work on a Send Help movie review video. So hopefully that comes out. Even though this weekend is going to be busy for me, I'm going to try to see what I can do. It really depends on how quick I can do the script, because I've been getting better at making it quicker. But I'm getting better at making the script, but it's still just sometimes tough to like fully commit to it. But I'm gonna try to do it since I didn't talk about it tonight, and that's the most recent thing I saw. So, but yeah, real appreciate everyone here, and I'll see you at the movies. All right, see you in the theater.